Well, hi, good morning, and thank you so much for joining me here in my shop for what could be an easy day or a difficult day installing a string on this radio. As radios go, this one's not terribly complicated for the string, but it's not absolutely straightforward either. The main problem I'm facing, well, actually, there's a personal problem I'm facing, which is to keep calm, cool, and collected while I'm doing this. I'm pretty good at doing that. Just keeping calm, keep calm, keep calm. And the other problem is I have no string guide to follow. So without a string guide, I'm kind of guessing as to how the string should go through here. So that's what I'm going to start with, taking some guesses without even using any string, just looking at this. So obviously the pointer slides over the top here. So the string no doubt comes over the top through here and over the top of this thing. From then on, well, you notice this wheel is not lined up with this wheel. That's a hint of some sort. So I would guess the string goes from here down to the knob. You can't see because there's a spacer here. The knob is just in behind it. You can see it there. It has a huge U-shaped bobbin on it. Okay, so it's got to go around that bobbin once, twice, three times. Who knows? Twice anyway, I would think, but possibly three times. Has some bearing, the width of the string has some bearing on that. This is very thin string I'm using. A lot of these radios have kind of a thick cord, and that makes a difference down in this wheel or bobbin. I like to call it a bobbin. So possibly it goes down from here. It might actually go kind of just behind the wheel here, down to the bobbin, maybe the outer edge, or the front edge of the bobbin. Once, twice, three times, maybe 2.5 times, something like that, and then up. Now the center of the bobbin is centered right on the big wheel. You can see that there. So the string will go down around the bobbin and come up onto the big wheel. Notice the big wheel is not a V-shaped valley, it's a flat bottom valley. Wow, does that mean the string goes around a couple of times? I doubt it. The string, most of these will pass itself at some point, if you follow what I'm getting at. We see two openings up here. There's one here, another one here. Is there any more? Sometimes there'll be two more. Uh-oh. Now, is that the one I saw at first? I'm going to follow that one all the way around. I'm going to try and follow it all the way around. Coming up. Yeah, you know what? That's a different one because it's way in fact you can kind of get a glimpse of it there. Way down the back here. So we've got a hole here, a hole there, and what looks like there's 3 holes. Is there 4? A little hard doing this with just a single sort of camera shot view of things. Well, regardless of the number of holes, only 2 of them are of interest to us. The string will be entering through 2 of these holes. The way they make these holes is they just punch the metal through, and then the punch piece they leave hanging. And that becomes a smooth surface for the string to run over rather than a sharp edge where it was cut. So we need to kind of look inside, kind of feel for that. So on this one, I'm feeling it's knocked down this way. So that means the string will enter this hole this way. It will come along and go in this way. That's what's intended. This one's probably the opposite. Doesn't look like it. It's not the opposite. The string will be coming this way and enter the hole the same way. That doesn't quite make sense to me. And this last one, or one of these last ones. Okay, so this one, the string is going to enter this way and go down. So it looks like it's probably this hole and this one. Just guessing though. Now if you look at the back of this plate, you'll see these punch outs. There's a punch out here. There's another one a little harder to see right here. 1, 2 of them. And that's it. So these are the places where the string is going to terminate. And the way these are punched out, like you see the hole here? The hole, you can see the string coming in this way, going through the hole and reaching this punch out where it's attached. The metal's punched back, so there's like a finger of metal in behind there, and the string just loops over it. This shouldn't be too hard to do. This one is pointing that way. Let's see if there's a hole that way. Yes, there is. There's a hole right here. So it looks like this hole, the string goes through and feeds in there. This hole and this one way down here, way on opposite sides. And the one in the middle here, what's this for? It's there to confuse me. So the string went in here and wanted to attach onto some kind of hook. This hook is backwards. And what's going on with this one? Put my finger in there. So this one is barely punched through. Let's take a closer look at that. That's a little odd. Okay, let's hope my camera will focus on it. Let's look at the top one first. I mean, you can see how that's punched right out. Come on, camera, do your thing. There it goes. And you can see, so it makes that smooth. Well, it doesn't matter. But punched out in there. Just a second. My other camera just decided to fall over while we're doing this. There. Okay. Now this one. Come on, camera. It's been pushed back into its hole. Somehow it's gotten pushed back. How would that happen? There's some other holes here. You could grab a spring with this hole. Like just this little hole. That could hold a spring. Here's another hole. Could hold a spring. Spring. There must be a spring involved in this. I have a great big spring here. I think. Did I? I can't remember now. Did I pull the string out of this radio, or was it just totally without a string? I can't remember. This I think came from another radio. But maybe it can be used in this one. That's a pretty big piece of spring there. Not going to fit in here. So this would be the one without a spring. The string would come in and attach there. And the other one, over here, the spring could, yeah, you could use this huge spring and stretch it all the way from here right up towards here. But that's a pretty long spring. The trick in doing this is getting it all done with the right tension in the string, and it's definitely a trick. This is there's a lot of things here that can frustrate a person like me, will frustrate me, that I need to be careful about. The worst one is to get it all done and find out you didn't do it right. And a classic example is you turn the knob expecting the pointer to go that way and the pointer goes the other way because you wrap the string the wrong way on this spool. Get the whole thing done and find that out. Very, very upsetting. I don't want that to happen. So we'd see the string. Let's follow it down from the back here. So it's going to come down the back. It's going to go on an angle across to where? Probably right to the big wheel. Where else can it go? So that's probably what happens here. This probably comes across, Now if we move this all the way this way, there has to be enough string on the wheel to unwind it all the way out. So if we attach here, the string that's coming up here, if we attach it here and run it down this way, the pointer will be moving this way. And I want to keep an eye on this hole. This hole will, the hole will stop at the bottom there, and that will work. If the hole went further, that would not work. So this is definitely, this looks like the hole in which you terminate the string that's going over here. Now let's think about this a little bit. As we turn this dial, we're going down, down, down in frequency. Down, 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 down. That would pull, in my current theory, that would pull the pointer all the way to here. The lowest frequency would be here, but it's not. The lowest frequency is not here. It's down here. If I got the capacitor rule backwards? Don't think so. So what other alternative is there for the string to come back here? So theoretically, I hope I got this right. Closed capacitor is a low frequency. You're at the low frequency end, so the pointer would be here. So as the wheel turns, as the stomach turns, oh my gosh, have I got this backwards? I don't think I do. I think that's a high frequency end. Okay, what do you do now? Okay, so if the pointer was here, the capacitor should be like that. The capacitor can only go this way. This is now pulling the string over the top here. Maybe again, maybe down through here. No, the protection is for this way, in the hole here. It's not this way. There has to be a string coming out of this. Could be coming over. Could be coming all the way over and going down to the spool. Okay, on the spool thing. My tripod keeps giving out here. Stay that way. Winding it around the spool. So we would want the control to work. Turn it this way, pointer goes that way, top string going that way, top string going that way. So we come off this side. I don't have to remember all this, by the way. I have to work through this a couple of times and then do it with a string. So coming up, turning it this way, trying to send the pointer that way, making the wheel turn this way. So the string is going over the top that way, it's coming around here, it's going down onto the spool this way. It has to be coming off the back of this wheel. To come off the back of the wheel, it could come all the way up to here. Came all the way up to here. Would be heading down to this termination here. Okay, so then if the wheel went all the way around, it would stop short of going past here, quite a bit short. So that could be true. We come down here, down there, around the bobbin, it's one way or the other, up, over top of here, down, back here. Now I'm sending the pointer that way. So I'm sending string this way. So the string has to come on this big wheel, has to come to here. Come all the way around to here. There we go. That's how you do it. And now I'm going to go and forget all that while I drink some coffee, and then I'm going to come in and play with a piece of string and see how far I can get with that. Okay, drank a bunch of coffee, now I'm really calm. Look. Okay. One of the things I try to do is cut the string to the right length at the last moment, so I don't cut the string too long and waste a few inches of the string, or too short and find out I've blown it. Oh, I've cut the string too short so many times I can't even begin to tell you, because I'm trying to be miserly with the string and I end up being the opposite. So what I'm trying to do here is just kind of lay it in roughly the way I thought it should go, and from there, and go from there. I don't know how I was going to finish that sentence. Okay. So I had concluded this way, that way. Concluded that the string should come down off of here and head to the bottom, except it causes the whole pointer to go the wrong way. I got to settle this. We could do it. We can settle this. Formula for a resonant circuit is 1 over the root of the squares of the inductive and capacitive reactance. Isn't that what it is? So if that's the case, raising the capacitance or the inductance would lower the frequency. Do I sound sure of myself? No, I'm not. Okay, I got to get sure of this, because it's amazing, isn't it? How many years I've been doing this? My entire life I've been looking at these capacitors, and I still don't know for sure which way they work, for crying out loud. Easiest way to figure out would be to turn the radio on, and yeah, that's the easiest way. Well, let me do that. Maybe I can do it. As long as I get a couple of strong stations here. I can't believe I have to do this, but you know what? I'm stunned these days at the things I get mixed up in my head. Okay, so no reason not to power it on. I think it's okay. Okay, on you go. So, I believe that the lower frequency stations are down in this range. And I'm going to connect the antenna lead here, but the antenna is actually switched off down here right now. But there might be enough juice just on the cable here to do the trick. Hello? Hello, radio. There appears to be no radio operating here. What's happened? I can see the filament glowing. Just no antenna, that's all it is. So I'm going to go turn the antenna on. That's the best way. That's the best thing I can do. Switch on the antenna down here. Okay, that made a difference. Let's tune something in here. Something's up here. I've got the volume turned full. Could it just be the I'm running it on 80 volts? It's better. Notice I just changed it from 80 volts to 115 volts, and the radio didn't drift at all. Impressive. all the stations are with the capacitor closed. That's the low frequency end of the band. Go up to the high frequency end, we won't hear. Oh my gosh, what just happened there?
He was doing it, and he was sort of the Walter Mitty underdog. You'd never... The way that I thought was best for society. Generally the best way to solve problems, but there are still problems.
That's impressive.
That can't be solved in the traditional capital markets. There's sort of a gap. And spent McCourt out at Glen Abbey a little bit later on with the Michelob Ultra.
So these have to be American stations.
I just think that he's a cool guy. For fizzy kind of confection and Barbie, and then a 3-hour.
Wow.
Il va falloir couper finalement.
Oui, voilà.
Bref, il y a
French.
beaucoup à dire. Je pense que de belles trouvailles.
CBC. French station here. And that's coming from Hamilton. Wow, this thing's receiving great. Now there was a pop and everything got better. What the heck was that? Jeepers. Okay, but the reception's excellent, and part of it is this fantastic antenna I'm using. So it used to be a few months ago, before the change here, a change of computers and antenna, I would pick up in the evening under the best conditions, maybe 10 listenable AM broadcast stations. A few from Canada and a couple from the States, across the whole band. The rest of it all noise. Now I've picked up a discernible, recognizable station on virtually every frequency in the broadcast band except about 7. There's about 7 of them left where when I tune there I just cannot identify any station. Stations are really, really weak, and it's just a soup of sound on those spots. But all the rest I've been able to identify correctly a station. I can't believe that. That's stunning. And again, that's 2 factors: drop in the noise in my house and this antenna I'm using, which I keep talking about, but I'm not sharing a terrible amount of information with it, and I'm not trying to keep it secret or anything. I just bought it off of Amazon Canada. I'm sure you can buy it anywhere in the world, really. $50, it's cheap. Okay, enough of that. Let's get back to the radio. So clearly when you close the capacitor, it goes to the low end of the band. No doubt about that. Okay. Try to remember that from now on and be certain about it, Jim. It's about time in your life that you got that factor all straightened out. Okay, now that means that when this is closed, the pointer should be sitting down here. What did I do with the pointer? Here it is. Sit the pointer down here. So as the wheel turns this way, the pointer must be pulled this way. There's no way the string can come over the top and down to the bottom of this wheel and have that happen. And it's very unlikely the string comes back. Just looking to see if there's any string skid marks on the back of this panel, but there aren't. So it would have to come back, pass through here, I guess. That's crazy. And come up onto here. This means the string would feed, and the pointer would come back. How else could it possibly be? Let's look at a height here, special height. How high is this wheel compared to the far wheel and compared to this bracket, which is right in a crazy spot? Okay, let's see if I can do this. So we're looking at the top of this wheel and the bottom of the far one. You can see it can come back. In fact, look, it's the right height. It would actually come back straight. It would come back straight. Ooh, that's something an engineer would like, a nice straight string. So that's got to be what's happening. That has to be what's happening there. It's coming back, passing through this gap, getting onto this wheel, going into this hole. No, it can't go into this hole. It goes into this hole, then when the wheel gets to here, it can't. It'd have to be in this hole. But this hole's tab is bent this way. This hole's tab is bent this way, so the string could come in from this side. But see, it goes right past. It can't. It goes down here. It can't go past and pull the string down. I'm going crazy. Yes, my mind is melting down already. The meltdown is happening. This is why you need a stringing diagram. Well, okay, if it can't go in this hole, it would have to go into the next hole. But why would it want to go? Okay, where is the next hole? This is the next hole. Looks like this is the next hole. Oh my gosh. Yep. That's a lot of string on the wheel for no reason. So they're going to design this to try to use the least amount of string too, because, you know, make 10,000 of these, 5 inches of string adds up. There's just no way this has to be attached to the top. Okay, I'm not sure where this string comes back here. So let's look at the other side again. So I'm pretty sure it's going down. It's going to go on the outside of this bracket. Just, I'm looking at it. I'm using my eye to look. Using my eye, yeah. Not using your eye, I'm using my eye to look down. It just misses this bracket. It could go down. You know what? It cannot get onto the spool without rubbing on the back of this wheel. Down here, it's gonna rub on the back of the wheel. That's gonna cause problems. The wheel will restrict the position of the string. So it won't travel on the spool properly as you go from one end to the other, because it's running behind this big wheel and getting pushed too far forward. Oh my gosh. So it can't really come over the top. Oh, you know what? This wheel has a lot of travel in it. Okay, well the picture changes if I put it here. Now it's lining up with part of this. Where do you think it would normally travel? I think it would settle mostly here. How come they allowed that much play in it? Oh, this is really, the other one's really sticky. Holy smokes. Oh, it's all warped too. That's not good. The string can dismount on this kind of warping. Is it just loose on the... No, it's bent. It's not the center shaft that's bent. It's the shape of the wheel here that's... Could probably straighten that up a bit, but you know, loosen it. The loose is okay. And it also has a similar play in terms of moving inwards and outwards. Okay, so I move it outwards. So this is going to put a pull or a moment, if you like, a moment of force this way, because the string is out a little bit from here. And likewise, if I get down here, you can see here too that the string coming through here is going to be outward from here. It's going to tend to pull this wheel this way. The wheel's going to want to go here. Wheels on the bus. Those ones go around and around. Wheels on the radio. It's got no warp in it. Boy, you can really see the warp on here. And this has probably happened from the radio being tipped like this onto its side. Did I do that? Maybe I did that. Maybe I did that. Maybe I'm the one who bent this. Oh boy, we're not getting too far yet, but there's a rule of thumb here when doing projects. Say you have 9 days to do a project. Would you believe you should use the first 3 days to plan the last 6? Now, we wouldn't normally do that. If somebody said, you got 9 days to get this thing done, we would probably get started at the task right away. Somewhere in the middle of the project we realized we messed up and did things in the wrong order, blah blah blah, and we'd struggle our way to day 9, but probably end up at day 10 or 11 getting everything done. Supposedly, theoretically, or according to some books I read, if you take those same 9 days, don't do anything for the first third except think hard about what you're going to do with the last 6, you'll probably get to the 9th day done. But it's extremely uncomfortable to spend the first 3 days thinking and making little plans. Obviously, the 1/3 rule is just a rule of thumb, so the real message there is spend a lot of time at the front end thinking and planning before you get into doing something. You could also throw in some loose talk like I'm doing now if you want to, and some coffee. You could throw in some coffee. I like that part. There's lots of radios that look just like this. Why don't I look at some stringing guides for other radios? There are many models that look just like this one, that'll probably have exactly the same arrangement. Well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to look for some other models with similar arrangements, and those would be the KL 70 series, and the AA. I think there's a AA something radios. I'm going to go look at that situation. Okay, here's a string diagram for a different radio. This is for an A32. So I think it's a RCA. It's an RCA A32 radio. But it's basically the same as this radio in many respects. So this part can be ignored. This part down here is the for changing bands, done differently in this radio. The rest of it is basically the same. So first thing I notice on here is that the string coming back from the edge pulleys or side pulleys both go over the top of the wheel. And yeah, now the wheel is showing to the right, but you could just take this and put it over here. It wouldn't make any difference. So the same as this radio. So perhaps that's what has to happen. Now notice it says in rear groove. So this big wheel here has grooves on it, designed to keep these strings from getting tangled up. Oh, because see, they're crossing each other on top of the wheel. So that's quite different from what I was trying to do. I was trying to get this to come down across the bottom, and I've certainly seen radios where that happens. But in this radio, by a different manufacturer, but the same look of radio, general look, over the top. Then, let's see, so we're getting to this pulley, or the control shaft, knob shaft, by coming over the top, look, and just sliding over top of this wheel. That's interesting. From the point of view of the shaft here, the string, which is going this way and going that way, is kind of pinching down on the wheel, which would add to its traction. Now, I mean, the string is fixed at the end, spring fixed at this end, but that's still it's a pretty firm fixture, so I don't know if it really needs traction on the wheel here. And this is also drum shown with gang at maximum capacity. I guess the significance of that is it shows the position of these two tangs that are here. So the spring-loaded tang is pulling on the string that's got the pointer on it. It's not pulling on the string here, pulling on the string here. Look, it's got a pull. It's got all this drag here. It's got to pull through. It's pulling. Yeah, I can see why it makes sense to have the spring on the we kind of call it the far end of the string. Kind of. Front groove, rear, front. 3 turns. Let's count them. 1, 2. Yeah, 3. It's like 3 times around. Don't know if I need 3 turns on this radio. But I'm using a thin string and it's a large bobbin, so I'm pretty sure I can do it. Okay, I'm going to keep this diagram in mind, and I'm going to try to figure out how this approach would work on this radio. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's give this a try now. Again, just without actually laying the string in. So the suggestion is go over the top, come around the bottom, come across through here, get back on the wheel, and then come over the wheel. And with that radio, with the wheel closed, see, like none of these are cut for the string to come in that way. This one, but this one will go right past. So that stringy diagram cannot work here. Do you know what I mean? Well, this hole is cut open and the flap is bent back, so it's safe to have the string come in one way. The other way, it's going against a cut edge. So for sure, they intended the string to come in this way, not to do that. And the only other possible one would be this one, but it can't be because this is cut, so the string comes in this way. Well, that didn't work. That didn't work. Well, what else about this wheel might help? So the suggestion here is this pulley comes across and over the top to get to the wheel. Now I don't think that works in this case either, because these wheels, they don't line up all that well. It's just about ready. I mean, let's assume this goes in the neutral position, right in the middle. It's not lining up with this wheel. Of course, the string on the wheel and the string out here will pull this wheel this way. So it might continue to ride way out here. But still, it's just barely lining up. It is lining up though. Barely. So that would mean the string would come over the top, underneath here, and you see it's very different in the diagram above. The pulley is totally above this big wheel, but not here. Here it's actually down. So the string would have to come up and then go on here, and then how far? According to that diagram, it would go, well, it has to go, at least it could go in this hole right here, but this hole is intended for the string to come the other way. So it would have to go into the next hole. The next hole is way down there, and then you'd have like a half turn of string going around for no good reason. Okay, there's always the remote chance that somebody has loosened this off and spun this relative to the capacitor here. I don't think that's happened. I would just, very unlikely that has happened. I have no instructions for positioning this wheel on the shaft because I've got nothing. Oh my gosh, I'm getting nowhere here. It's day 2 of the 9 days. Okay. All I can suggest here is you start throwing some string at it and see if that doesn't help clarify things. Let's look at how's this part done. So this part is done completely underneath the wheel. So So if we look at the situation here, so this guy, this big wheel, not really lining up with the piece there. There's no in and out play with this. So they're very close alignment, but not quite dead on. You can have a certain amount of string angle here, and it won't come off because it's got, you know, it's got some raised edges, but a little bit. But any more than that, and the string will just climb over top and fall off. So alignment's quite important here. Oh my. So the idea is it goes around the bobbin according to the diagram. And then it would come up over the back, over the back, up into here. After going around the pulley, it would come out, it would come up this way and try to find a termination point. Okay, so how's that work? Okay, so we have it closed, so it wants to go this way. So we could come up, could come from around here, around there, down, come up and go in here, and this would be correct. And the termination point, uh-oh. The termination point here, there isn't one. This one doesn't really have a string termination point. It's looks like this one, and the other one's way down here. Maybe that's really the trick, is to accept these termination points. The string must terminate here, come out of this hole, and go this way. It would have to come all the way around, get up here, and reverse back. So once again, so we have to. What did I just do? Oh my gosh. Yeah, terminate here, come through here, go all the way around, up, over, and on the way back, you have a choice of coming back up here. If you go to the bottom, you're going to the, like the wheel only turns in one direction. So if we are doing this, we are doing this, we are doing that, we are doing that. Let me try that again. Okay, if we're going to close the capacitor, if we're closing the capacitor, we're pushing the pointer this way. This is open the capacitor. We'll push the pointer this way. Yeah, so if the string comes over, goes around, goes this way, then yes, we're doing this. Okay, so we have it in the right direction if we did that. But it never got on this, never got on the control. Oh boy. So, okay, if that's the case, it has to get the control from here. Come all the way down. That's nonsense. It's not going to happen. Could come down, drag over the surface of this wheel. That way, that way, that way, that way. Yeah, that would work. Could then go around the tuning thing, the adjustment. It would be in that configuration where the string is off, the bobbin is aimed right at the wheel right away for false maximum traction. It would then go around the wheel and then come up. Oh, we're getting back to the same spot. We would have to come up, go all the way around, and find this find this entry. Oh, this one's bent the other way. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. I gotta go take a break here because losing my mind again. Since I don't want to cut my proper dial string, I'm just going to use some ordinary kitchen string here to practice with. Maybe some more things will come clear with this. Did I cut it long enough? Probably not. Knowing myself. So we think it wants to go over the top like this, no doubt about it. By the way, you can't use this kind of string, ordinary kitchen string, because it has a stretch. Now, it may not be much of a stretch. I really can't feel it. This string over here has no stretch. This is string without stretch. And that demonstration doesn't prove anything, but there you are. So I don't want to waste the non-stretching string. Obviously, stretching string is going to cause you tuning problems in the end. So, okay. So we're coming down. We're coming down here. I'm thinking it goes around. I don't know what I'm thinking. Really not thinking. And then goes over the top. And I can already see that this just isn't going to work. But it's going to dismount. So it can't go over the top. Can't follow that diagram. It's more likely it goes down. Maybe bumps into there. Now, does that make sense? Bumping into the wheel, you want it to move the same way the wheel moves. So this would be over the top. It would be the pointer moving to the left. That's fine. That's good. So it can rub up against here, then it will go down and around the spool. Which way would you do it? Let's just find out here. Okay, so I have a tool for this. Goodness knows where that tool is. As I straighten up all my stuff. Here it is. Right here. It's poking his fingers. So I have a special tool that I prepared as a hook on one end. You can kind of see. At the other end has a reverse hook. So it's a pusher-puller. That's what I call it. So we can envision this either behind the wheel, which I don't like, or running over the surface of it, the big wheel, like that. There's quite an angle here. That doesn't look right like that, does it? Looks like it's going to dismount here. If this did continue to be out, why did they allow so much play in this? Even out there, it's not so good. So if I went around the back of the wheel, back of the control, if I turned the control this way, I would want the pointer to go that way. So turning the wheel this way, I'm pulling the string of the way it's in, and pulling the pointer the wrong direction. So if it does go down there, it doesn't go around that way. It's got to go around this way. And I probably got it backward. It has to be wound in a certain direction. On here too, you have to get that right. Go around a couple times like that. And it would head up the other side. Now, what do we got happening now? So I'm going to pinch it on the wheel here with my finger. And there's certainly no tension here to work with. I'm not at that point yet. So let's see. If I turn the knob to turn the point, send the pointer that way. I would do this. This would pull the wheel. This would travel. This would work. This would work. So now the string would have to come up the back and find a way in. Okay, there's a way in here, but this is the whole of nothing. So the other next way in is way the heck down here, way down under there. So if we pull the wheel up, it can't go because this is designed for the string to come in this way. So we can't come around and go in that way. We're breaking the rules. So, okay, again, so if the wheel is turning this way, I'm heading for the lower frequencies. No, I'm not. I'm heading for the higher frequencies. I got this backwards. Because I've reversed it on here. Or extremely unlikely, the string comes right back up. Comes right back up. I don't think this would be the case. And then goes over here. That just doesn't look. You know what? The string going down here is really not pushing on this at all. Okay, so now if I turn the control to send the pointer that way. Okay, it's going to move this string that way. And this string is going to come up. That's wrong. How can it be wrong in both directions? What did I do wrong? Think again. Okay, so we're going to send the string towards the higher end. So we're coming down on this one, up on this one, towards the higher end. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. And we could go in here. We could go in there. We could go in there. Let's go in there. Now this is just a temporary thing. Don't jump out of your seat and go, what are you doing? Kind of a temporary deal here. Trying to remember my scout knots. Okay, now put that there. Pull back the slack. It's all tangled up down here. How come they're so tangled? Somehow I've got this. Doubled over itself. So this would be in the groove here. Pulling on the string is causing the capacitor to head towards the low end, and the pointers, my hand is the pointer, it's heading towards the low end of things. But you know, this can't possibly work because I get halfway there and now this is passing. Yeah, this can't work. This can't be the case. Oh my gosh. I feel like I haven't gotten even to square one yet. And the second day is just about done of the 9. Oh boy. Okay, so this didn't work. Frustrations are rising. You cannot do this when you've reached a certain level of frustration. It's time to stop. And I could be getting there already. Holy smokes! Where are we on the clock here? Oh, it's 11:30 in the morning. It's usually when I'm looking at stopping. Okay, so I can't go there. Holy schmoly! gosh. I gotta stop here. I gotta stop. Yeah, I said I gotta stop. I stopped the video and I just carried right on, so I'm gonna turn the video back on. Well, maybe I just picked the bad starting spot. This one, the string can go in here properly. This is the one with no place to terminate the string. But it would lovely go in there, just lovely. Stops there, so it doesn't go past the spool, cause that problem. And then it just goes all the way around. That's not a problem. Okay, let's try that. Just clip this. I got a little clip. Exactly little. Okay, now that'll be the take-up reel. Oh no, this goes up here through the pointer, but we don't want to do that just yet. There we are. What happens now? This arrangement, we have the capacitor almost closed. If I close it, there we are. Capacitor closed, pointer at the low end. Pointer's down here. Okay, so my hand is the pointer. The floor is lava. Okay, here we go. Now, if we were to turn this to pull the pointer this way, we would be turning this way. Yeah, okay, so that would work. That is moving the capacitor correctly. What's the string doing? It's going up the back here. Keep it in the groove. In the groove. A little hard to do the way I have it here. Okay, we're in the groove. Stay in the groove. So now we're turning this, making the pointer hopefully go that way. No, the other way. Okay, the other way's fine. I can't really make this work the way I've got it, because the string has to come all the way around and attach to the wheel again in order to get the back and forth motion. Can't just be pulling on it like this. So let's advance this up. Pointer's moving to the right, which is as it should. We get to there. Okay, now I'm there. What do we do with the other end? So the other end on the bent pulley is coming back. You know, I cut this thing short. That's stupid of me. Yes, it's stupid of me. So it's coming back. Now, the pointer at this point, the pointer at this point is over here. And we can make it go that way, make the string go this way. Yeah, it works. That works. So now this is supposed to come up on the top. It's supposed to come through here then. Through here. And then it's got to find a proper hole. Stupid string is too short, so I can cheat by knocking these off the big pulley and putting them on the putting it on the thing. Okay, I got a little more string here to play with now. So we're looking for a hole that this would drop into. Now the reason I can't pull this very well, a couple of reasons. One, it just dismounted here. I don't want it dismounted there during this. I should have tied a knot. I'll use the clip. There, okay, that's back on. I think pulling on this string would move everything. Okay, so the pointer is heading, well, the string I'm holding is heading this way, the pointer's heading that way. The wheel is heading this way. Where would I drop this? So there's a hole here, but that's way too low. It has to be down here somewhere, because if I can raise this, everything's going to come off now when I do this. It would have to come on to, this hole is looking for a string to come the other way. That would be the best hole. Is it possible they punched these holes, and my theory of how they punch them is really bogus? The string would have to come in and go right back to this connection. This string is almost the right length to do this. The other string, the other end has to go down through that hole, find an attachment. There is no attachment point for that one. It's this hole, attachment there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I gotta stop again. Boy, I need a diagram. Okay, once more into the breach. I pulled off the string. Let's go back to this idea that I can tell what hole goes with what terminal point. One here, this is the one I thought the spring would do it. So I am going to start the string here. Yeah, I should have cut twice as much string. Oh well. Perfect. Okay. And based on the way the hole is cut, it would have to go this way. It would have to go this way. All the way around. All the way around, because where else can it go? Now it could go through the... Look at that, it stops there, eh? So maybe it goes around the wheel at this, the I don't know what to call it, control shaft. Around the control shaft. And which way? So we want to tune the radio this way. This way would be pulling the string that way, I believe. So we'd be going towards the low end, that's right. So this string I'm holding would have to go over there. Over there. Yeah, got that, over there. Let's go over there. Has to go here. Then come up here. Go around and put it on the, there, that's better. Okay, come over here. Now what do we got? So we have the top string, and if the capacitor moves this way, the string will move towards the high end. That's correct. That's correct. Okay, and if we get to the end, the string does not dismount. There's just a whole bunch of on the wheel. Okay, we don't worry about the whole bunch. It's coming over the outside of this, in fact. So from here, could go. Oh my God! I should have cut the string inches, many inches longer. So it's coming down. Okay, so we're going to do that. It's coming down. This screw right here. Now, this can't be the case. So we want this to be. We actually want this to be up here. This is like the diagram I was looking at. And from here, okay, so I just ignored looping it around here for now. This would go off, okay, stay off. Potentially into, wow, the hole's way over here. The hole is right here. So that's a lot of string, again, going around, but would it work? The question is this way. Yeah, for sure it would work. This hole is never going to come all the way up and around. So that would work, but it's a lot of string. A lot more string because I have to go around this part down here. Now how would we get around that? So I could just pull the string off the wheel here, wrap it around. If the wheel, does the wheel pass the, stops there, so you could run from the hole to the pulley. And there's no problem going the other way because it would never run out of string. It's really just a question of this way. And stop there. So the string would be coming straight over. My gory gosh, I think I got it. I think I've got it. I think I've got it. So I have to run the string, side by side on here. It's not a double groove. They're only really side by side right at this point. And that's just like that diagram we were looking at. Well, I think I got it there. I think that's the way it's supposed to go. Okay, what to do next? It's lunchtime. Oh boy. Okay, I'll just stop here. So as a video maker, it's very uncomfortable getting into the situation I'm in right now. So I think I've been in here long enough today. I cannot finish this work today, so I have to decide, should I post an incomplete situation like this? And I think I'm going to have to. So sorry about that. I know a lot of you are watching my videos because it's kind of fun and interesting, and sometimes when something like this happens, not so fun, not so interesting. But it is what it is, and I am trying to document all the work I do on these radios, good and bad. So I'm going to stop here. I think I'm stopping in a good spot. I think I know how the string is supposed to go on here. And tomorrow I will attempt to actually install the string following basically the pattern I've got here, I think. We'll see tomorrow what happens. So thanks a lot for watching. And if you're facing a string, yeah, drink coffee, take lots of breaks, keep calm, and carry on. See ya.